Hi, everybody. I have a co-host named Cora Barchard who is just not going to let us do any Bell The Birdmen podcast. So I'm going to leave it in the good hands of Vince Quinn, Francisco Rojas, and, of course, Taylor Credatis, as my co-host wants to eat my headphones.
She literally
right
just took them out of your ear and is munching on them. So, yeah, she's not a fan of the pod, Cora Barchard.
Not a fan of the pod, but don't go anywhere. I'll be back Sunday. And in the meantime, Taylor, hit the music!
Oh, what's going on? That was about as creepy as I could do.
Is that how you're starting the show?
Yes, that's exactly how we're starting the show.
Okay, go ahead,
yeah,
Skymore. Go ahead, Skymore.
It's an adventure, this one. I am Vince Quinn. That is Francisco Rojas. Taylor Credatis is with us, and John, as you heard at the intro there, is doing some baby stuff. He's a dad. He's busy. He's got a bunch of kids. He's an occupied guy. But here's the truth. John is running from this show. He's making excuses, and he's using his children as a shield because as much as he spends all this time going, oh, Vince, Russell Wilson doesn't want to come here. Well, he's on Jimmy Kimmel talking about cheesesteaks, John, so eat it, okay? Eat it. He wants to. Francisco, please tell me you saw that.
He's not coming now.
You saw
We know
that.
this. He's not. I did see it. I didn't
loves Philly
watch the video,
cheesesteaks.
but I saw the headlines. He's not coming, bro. Look, as much as I want Russ,
Yeah.
because it would make sense. You bring Russ here. He gets like a Mike Williams or maybe a big name receiver, not like a Devontae Adams, but more big name receivers. He brings in other big name free agents because they say, look what we got in Philly. That all sounds great, but it's not happening. It's not happening.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you're just not a believer.
It's not that I'm not. Well, yeah, at this point, I'm not a believer.
You're not a believer. And when Russ
But
comes to Philly and we grab cheesesteaks together, Taylor is invited and you're not, is really what it comes down to.
That makes no sense.
So Taylor's invited. You don't deserve to be there. Now, I just had to get that out of the way. Now, Howie Roseman spoke at the Combine. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to get to with this because it's fat. One, I honestly, part of me loves watching Howie Roseman speak. Part of me loves it because you know what it is? Ever since he won the Super Bowl, Howie's gotten so smug.
Hey, well, the other thing is, too, like, we hardly ever see him speak, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare. So when we get to see him speak, we covet it.
Getting him at
right?
the Combine,
So
in general, it's good. I like when they speak at the Combine. I think they just say more when it's Combine time. But Howie, like, if you go and watch the presser, honestly, just the entertainment value alone is hilarious because it's like, all right, Howie gets a question, somebody asks it, then once he finishes it, what happens? All the reporters like, rah, 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 like they're all talking over each other trying to get the question out. He's like, fellas, I'll get to you all. All right, one at a time. We're going left to right. All right, just hang out. I'll get to you. Jeff, I'll get to you. He points to Jeff McClain like 3 different times. It'll just be like, yeah, Jeff, I'll get to you eventually. Like, relax. So it's so funny to just watch Howie hold court. Because he just knows he's in total control. There's nothing anybody can do about it. So he just loves the moment. It's so ridiculous.
But see, my whole thing is too, Vince. Like, we never see him. So like, I think we are over. Like, we're looking at him in these pressers, whatever it is, and we never see him. So it's more enticing when we do get to see him.
Well,
he's anti-Daryl Morey.
Anti-Daryl Morey, huh?
Yes.
Taylor.
Wait, who tweeted?
Yes.
Wait, was it Daryl Morey that tweeted him?
He tweeted Roseman?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
Yeah, Daryl Morey like tweeted Howie and said like, I forget what he said, but he said something along the lines of like, if you need some help or something like this, like we could bounce ideas off each other. I have to fact check that.
Howie doesn't talk enough, and
But
apparently
I don't even think Howie has a Twitter though.
No,
it was like
no. There's no way. Well, at least I'll
say
say this: he could have a burner. I think it's safe to say that a lot of people that are in jobs like that have burners.
he has
just a scout.
He has
I
an
gotta find
assistant.
this, man. I gotta find
Yeah. See, I don't know.
Here it is.
Maybe,
He
but-
quoted.
This is Daryl Morey,
listen,
by the way.
No, listen. This is Daryl Morey. This is the Daryl Morey.
Okay.
So Trevor Sikkema, ever heard of this guy?
Sikkema?
Sikkema,
I
something
forget
like
his name. I see him on Twitter all the time,
Okay.
and I like what he does, but I have no idea how to pronounce
Okay,
his
so
name.
he quote tweeted UNC quarterback Sam Howell was asked if he had any strange questions from teams. No strange questions, but said the Eagles had him shoot a basketball in a mini hoop.
Yeah.
And he quoted Sam. He said, I only made like 205, so I'm probably not high on their board right now. But Daryl quote tweeted that tweet and said, at Howie, make sure you tip us off if we should be looking at anyone.
Okay,
So
there you go.
that's interesting.
It's good vibes from Daryl.
Yeah.
Look, Daryl's king of the world right now.
Oh,
When
he's
you
a
get
legend.
James Harden, you're king
He's a
of the
legend.
world. Yeah. So he's riding high. But although, if Howie gets Russell Wilson, you're welcome. Anyway.
Yeah, and when James Harden gets us a championship, he's going to be looked at as one of the greatest GMs in Philadelphia sports history.
Oh, he's
not even the GM.
Yeah.
He's the president of basketball operations.
He's everything.
People forget Elton Brand's the freaking GM of the team.
Is he though?
I'm just saying
this is not a Sixers podcast.
But that's his title.
John comes out and becomes a Sixers podcast.
I know. This is what I do.
No, it's Daryl's team. But look, let's get back to Howie, okay? We're back. We're off the rails. We're on the rails. All right, here we go. Howie Roseman.
You're the conductor.
Here's the thing about the press conference, right? Because he did actually say some meaningful shit. Like, people look at this always and they're like, oh, press conferences, nothing happens. And a lot of times you're right. Like, once you're in that grind of training camp and all that stuff, are they really going to say something on a Tuesday in August? Like, no. There's going to be nothing breaking. But he did say some interesting stuff. First thing, talking about the defense, right? He mentions Jonathan Gannon. And obviously Gannon's done all these interviews as a head coach, and whether or not we think he should be back and whatever is one thing. But he said, he's like, we see Jonathan Gannon as a rental. As in, he's going to get a head coaching job soon. That's how he's talking about it, which to me, I go, all right, well, if that's the case, how much say does Gannon have in anything? He's not going to be here long. You know what I mean?
But that doesn't make sense. I don't even. Why is Gannon? Why should he even be looked at as someone to get a head coaching job? I don't understand that.
Well, I don't understand it either.
That makes no sense.
I don't get Taylor. Do you get it? Does it make any sense to you? No.
What has Jonathan Gannon done?
Over there?
What's his even?
I have a real answer. It's probably not the answer you want.
Oh well, no, I would love that answer. Yeah. What do you got?
Because he's white.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's factual.
Yeah.
Like,
it definitely helps.
Why didn't Eric Bieniemy? I mean, if we really want to go down this road, like, why doesn't Eric Bieniemy have as many offers as?
Well, Bieniemy almost didn't come back as the Chiefs' offensive coordinator. Did you guys see that? That was like 2 weeks ago. They were like, yeah, Bieniemy and Andy Reid are talking about whether or not he's going to return. I was like, wow, this guy's been around for so long, they don't even want him anymore? Like, there's a question over whether to keep Bieniemy. I honestly, Bieniemy's one of the strangest things I've ever seen. He just is. I like, a guy on one of the hottest offenses, does it for years, never really gets looked at for interviews, and then almost leaves the team without a head coaching job.
The second half of that Bengals game was like an all-time collapse.
It was really bad.
Yeah,
no, like an all-time collapse.
It was pretty brutal.
But Eric Bieniemy is still one of the better offensive coordinators in the league, is he not? I know it's Mahomes, I get it, but like, I mean, Bieniemy should have gotten more.
Nobody cares. It's the Chiefs. Like, you're supposed to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's why you're there.
I'm just saying, in the past like 4 or 5. I'm not just looking at this year. I'm talking about the last like 3 or 4 years.
Well, you're not. Well, you're not talking like the owner of the Chiefs then.
But also, again, it's just like it's. He's not a white guy, and obviously there's a lot of problems with that. And Flores is running the lawsuit, and it's the NFL's going to have hell to pay for all of that.
Right.
So they're going to deal with it. But for Gannon, he's going to get hired. Like, that's where it goes.
But
right.
All that in general, like, Gannon hasn't been good.
No,
he has not been good. Like, okay, whatever. He faced the really bad offenses last year in the second half of the season. Like, besides that, he wasn't good. He was giving up record passing percentages to freaking quarterback. I know they're all good quarterbacks. Doesn't matter. Like, record.
I know. I don't think he's good.
So why does he? No, I'm just saying, why is he getting looked at? It makes no sense. He almost got the Texans head coaching job. He was in the top 3.
Well, he was going to get it until the Flores lawsuit came up. I know. And then they hired Lovie Smith.
Know what? Good. He didn't deserve it anyway.
Well, he didn't deserve it, but now we're stuck with him.
Yeah,
and it's for a year, because the idea is like, well, we'll see. But ultimately, if Howie Roseman's looking at this, like, Jonathan Gannon's going to get a job somewhere else, how much say do you really give the guy? Like, if he's going to be making all these first-round picks, we're obsessing about all these spots.
How many coaches actually have say in the Eagles organization anyway?
Well, recently, nobody.
That's my point.
Not really.
And recently, Jonathan Gannon was the defensive coordinator.
But it's like they've been running Jim Schwartz's system, basically. That's been John's big sticking point. I think he's right. They've basically just been like, look, dude, do what Jim Schwartz did. That's what all these veterans want. Just do it. So now it was like, okay, this is a chance for this guy to actually build a defense. You got cap space. Half the starting lineup is going to turn over. If he's going to have actual say and they really believe in this guy, they could do that. But are they going to? And if you think he's going to leave, probably not. Like, for all the, the Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd, all that kind of stuff, like these dynamic linebackers that can do everything, if that's not who the Eagles are, and unless Gannon's like really pounding the table, like putting his life on the line for one of these guys, I don't think they're going to move on. Do you see him as that type
of guy? Because I don't see Jonathan Gannon as that type of guy. He's a very laid-back kind of guy with his Matrix glasses on every freaking game on the sidelines. Yeah, I don't see that.
I don't see him as that kind of guy, and I don't think the Eagles want to make that investment anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like if you're Howie, you got to see a big improvement from Gannon this year, like big. Like I don't see a slight improvement, and it's like, all right, we're going to stick with Gannon. They're going to go look for somebody else.
Well, I don't
know who they
but
would.
This could be Howie Roseman gamesmanship, right? Where he's just sitting there and he's like, all right, let me tell everybody that we think Gannon's going to be a head coach.
Right,
so,
you never really know with Howie. You never know with Howie.
Please, Houston, hire this guy, take him, you know.
Just like Howie might go for a quarterback in the first round. We don't know because I told you this before the show, Vince. There are 3 quarterbacks projected by Mel Kiper in his recent mock draft.
But wait, are you saying you actually think the Eagles could draft a quarterback?
I don't think they will. But there's a possibility. I'm just saying, did we see the Jalen Hurts pick coming? No.
I could also get in good shape. That's a possibility. Is it going to happen?
You can do it with my help.
I mean, I could. I gotta change a lot of things in my life.
I've tried helping you. Remember that. I've tried. Have I not come to you say like, yo, Vince, we got to eat healthy. We got to go to Planet Fitness together.
He just grabs my moves and he's like, this is not acceptable.
Just like Taylor's music takes aren't acceptable. But that's another freaking.
You two talking about music has been a mess today.
That just started today.
Well, we can hash that out in the Discord.
Just don't argue with a J. Cole fan.
There we go.
Look, I don't like Vince. I don't want to get off track here, so you better shut up.
So yeah, again, fight. You can fight about it later, but. Going to the defense, that was one of the things. Like, all right, if he thinks Gannon is legitimately a rental, how much say does he have? How does that shape the way they want to build the defense in the next couple of years? I think that's a really relevant question for this team because defense is in flux. The whole thing's open. I mean, your whole back end is wide open. Fletcher Cox is old. Brandon Graham is old. Derek Barnett, nobody wants him back. So
there's no way Derek Barnett comes back, right? Right?
Well, I wouldn't say there's no way because they don't you got to find a whole new set of defensive ends.
How long has he been here now? 2017,
He's
right?
Been here like 5 years, yeah.
I mean, and that was a contract year, and he showed nothing. Nothing. I think he had his career worst season.
I don't think he's good, but it's just the idea.
I'm just saying though, like
of familiarity,
right? It's like it's different if Derek actually showed you something in a contract year, even if it wasn't beautiful. I mean, not having your career worst season. Like, there's no way he comes back. No way.
I would hope not.
And a hole, too, because they were 29th in sacks, I believe, last year. That's a position where if you're gonna improve on getting at the quarterback, you're gonna have to get rid of Derek Barnett and get somebody else.
Well, they should, but
at least draft somebody.
If you have to replace so many spots, continuity, and if they go, all right, well, he's going to rotate, and we can't, you can't sign everybody, and you can only draft so many guys that can play. It's just maybe Derek Barnett is back, but if he's not, and I would prefer he's not.
He's not starting.
He's so back.
He's so back. The smile on your face when you say that.
So bad.
You're like rooting for him to be back,
you so much because you're right.
He's so bad.
Taylor wants the chaos.
Just like we're going to draft the quarterback in the first round. Just like Kenny Pickett's going to us in 15.
I would lose it.
Yeah,
I would
Mel
honestly.
Kiper's got Kenny. I know I've been mentioning Mel Kiper a lot, but he's got Kenny Pickett going to number 11 to the Washington Commanders.
Well, that's fine. We'll talk about them later because there's some stuff going on with them. They're a complete mess, and Pickett's a part of it. But thinking about all right, could Gannon rebuild it? Like a guy that I really like, Kyle Hamilton, right? Kyle Hamilton's killer. And if you haven't seen him out there, please watch Kyle Hamilton's tape. Like within a minute, I was just like, holy shit, this kid's amazing.
And we were saying like mid-season, right? Like, oh, Eagles could probably get this guy. And then he just skyrocketed towards the end of the...
Well, he has, but it's one of those things where, all right, if you believed in Gannon and he was going to stay and he was putting his flag down and going, this is my guy to build my defense around, then maybe you trade up for a guy like Kyle Hamilton. But if you don't think he's going to be around...
Up. I mean, how much are you going to give up to get Kyle Hamilton?
Well, how much...
trade up for
Well, it's a question of how far does he fall, right? Quarterbacks will be part of that. Like if Kenny Pickett goes, I don't know, Malik Willis. The Combine is a great week in this way, right? This is one of the things I was planning to write about it in the newsletter, and then I'm a space brain. It didn't happen. But the newsletter is great. Side note, by the way, Matt and Dubs have been working on the newsletter, and they put out a great edition.
They really do.
They've been killing it. So check out the newsletter. But thinking about the Combine week, it's like, all right, if these quarterbacks skyrocket, this is the time for it. So if they're going to skyrocket, a guy like Kyle Hamilton could go down the board a little bit. Maybe you trade up to 10. You know what I mean? Instead of, he's going to go at 6, maybe he's there at 10.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Thibodeau's not going to fall, but maybe Hutchinson I've seen go a little bit later, like 8. Maybe he does fall a little bit
he was
further.
Supposed to be like the number 1 pick.
It fluctuates each day. It could be there's a left tackle that people really like. I've got his name down somewhere.
Evan Neal?
Evan Neal's one of those guys.
I forget the other guy's name.
Eka Mikwanu.
Yeah, he's projected
out of,
to go.
NC State
he could go number 1.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's rotating all the time. But again, if the quarterbacks are going to skyrocket up the board here, then okay, some of your defensive pieces could fall. You could pick that guy that's the guy to build around, and Gannon could get his guy. The same way right now, if you want to believe everything and you ignore all the talk about cheesesteaks on Jimmy Kimmel, well then Jalen Hurts is the guy for Nick Sirianni.
He's going to bring this up.
So yes, I am.
He's going to bring it up every 5 to 10 minutes on the pod. Just mention that. Just throw it a little jab in there.
I'm going to be insufferable. But the other note with the defense, because here is. So the other note with the defense, and this is where it gets interesting too, is talking about defensive ends specifically, right? So Howie wrote, it's so funny because Howie, with all the candor and like the joking around that he does when he's running a presser these days, one of the things he was like, yeah, they asked him like, Howie, what do you think's a position of strength? And he's like, yeah, well, I've gotten a lot smarter, not making that mistake again. Not going to be talking about that.
We'll believe when we see it.
And then he gets into defensive ends, and as he's talking about him, he's like, yeah, so there's some guys we like, and we think this is a position that we're very likely to address coming up. And he's like, I probably shouldn't have said that. And they just walked away. Like, that was it. He just ended the presser. It was the great, like, honestly.
That's very Howie.
Turn on the presser, go to the last 30 seconds, and watch the last 30 seconds. It's
like you said, that's the entertainment you will get from Howie Roseman, watching a presser with Howie Roseman.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so funny.
Absolutely.
It's legitimately hysterical to watch him do it. So I love seeing all of that. But he does mention that they're going after defensive ends. So, okay, when you're building the defense, this is who I think the Eagles are, and I think he's telling you that. It's like, all right, we're not going to change things dramatically because we don't know Gannon's going to be here. We have a philosophy of how we like to do this. We're just going to keep drafting guys for that because the coordinator's going to come and go. Like, that's how it is with an offensive head coach a lot of times anyway. You have the offensive guy, and then the complementary piece tends to leave. So if you're going after defensive ends, I mean, one, we're going to have to talk about guys to trade up for in the draft at some point. Maybe not today, but definitely a thing to discuss. Like, Thibodeau is the guy that I saw and went, holy crap. I know Hutchinson's that guy. I can't imagine he gets to like 5.
They're saying Thibodeau and Hutchinson are the same guy.
Yeah, they're both
so like
freaks.
Right. So, I mean, whoever you can get there. I mean, one of those is going to go top 3, I think.
Yeah, so,
right?
I mean, I don't think they're going to trade for either of those guys. But, again, it's just spitballing theories and getting a feel for where the team is. Like, they clearly value defensive end. They're definitely going to draft a guy. And then now, here's where it gets interesting as well. Hassan Reddick just got thrown out as an option because the reports today, literally as we're recording this right now on it's a Thursday, right? On a Thursday afternoon, is that Hassan Reddick is going to hit free agency, which, by the way, in the past 2 years, he's had a total of like 23 sacks. So, Philly guy, went to Temple, like, it's everything that you want to hear, which makes sense.
And I hate that narrative. It stinks so much.
Yeah, it's funny because it's a good story, but also for the players, a lot of times, it does end up being a problem for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, once I go home, if I'm playing at home, now everybody I went to like middle school with is begging me for tickets like they know me.
When does this work for a football player?
Trying to think of the last time that there was like a legitimate Philly. I mean, the closest thing I got right now is like Corey Clement, Vinny Curry, both Philly area guys. Corey Clement was a Cowboys fan, so like,
right, yeah. Wait. Corey Clement's a Jersey guy, right? South Jersey?
Yeah, he's a Jersey. Not sure where in Jersey, but he's a Jersey guy. Vinny Curry, same thing. Jersey guy, Eagles fan, 2nd round pick, played so many years here. So it works.
Does it
work? It works. It's
Hassan Reddick is 27 years old, man. He's right in his prime. He's coming here. He's going to put up those numbers. No?
I think he's going to play well. It's just, like the hometown thing, is it a sell? It might not be a sell for him.
Oh, you're saying just coming here in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of times guys don't like playing it, or they like the idea of playing at home, and then they play at home, and they just go,
I think you show them the money, it's not going to matter. No?
It won't matter as much. I mean, they'll get over it more. But if you're unhappy, you're unhappy. Like, that's
just being close to home?
Well, being close, because what happens is, again, it's everybody that you ever know just goes, oh, I kind of know that guy. Yeah, no, let me see if I can get tickets. Let me see if I can use him.
Right.
Everybody tries to use you when you.
I think people are going to use you no matter where you go.
But I know what you're saying. But not as many people have access to you.
Right. That's a good point. But I mean, you never know. You never know. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's
just weird. Like, sometimes you might have hung out with somebody in college 12 years ago, and then they're like, oh, yeah, I got loaded with him once at this frat. Let me call him. Yo, Hassan, give me Eagles tickets. You know what I mean? Like, it's got, sometimes it has to
block
suck.
Their numbers.
Yeah, so
that's all you got to do.
That's something you're going to do, Vince?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And people do that to me all the time.
Vince,
no,
this is what you do. Easy. You block numbers.
Yeah.
You block them on Twitter.
Okay.
You block them on. That's it. It's done.
There you go.
See, wait. You guys just had. I was here. Joe Santoliquito on.
Yes.
What did he do when he got bombarded with tweets? Boop, block. Boop, boop, block. He said, made my life easy. Same thing.
Well, there you go. You are
Hassan
officially
Reddick,
his
all you
social
gotta do
media
is
manager.
like, if you're Howie, you come to Hassan, you say, look, we'll give you this much money. You come here, all you got to do is block a bunch of people on Twitter, and you're going to win a Super Bowl here. That's all you're going to do. That's all you have to do for Hassan Reddick.
It all starts with blocking a lot of people.
I got Taylor.
on Twitter.
I see him. I got him.
There you go.
Yeah, he knows. Once he's quiet.
Yeah, now I'm sold.
All right,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
So
Completely
look,
flipped.
We'd love to know what you think about. If you want Hassan Reddick on this team, I'd be super excited about it. And really, what do you think they should be doing with the defense in terms of the direction? 215-509-5833, or you can hop in the Discord where it's been super busy and awesome. And thank you to everybody.
Discord's the best.
It's been so much fun. I just added a TV channel to the Discord because I'm obsessed with Murderville. Do you have any idea what Murderville is?
You told me about this, but wait, you're telling me this now. I didn't know about
Yes, this is also. So I'm talking to somebody for you listening there. I'm letting you know that Francisco doesn't know who Creedence Clearwater Revival is.
I do. Hold on. That is not true.
That is 100% true.
You said, what is this trash?
You said, what is CCR?
No, yeah, I just no. That's
Yes.
not. I misheard you. I heard this song and I was like, I don't know this song, and you guys automatically look like, oh, you don't know who that is? No, I know. I've heard of CCR. I just don't listen to them like that. That's all it is.
Yeah, sure.
You're overselling this.
No.
Overselling.
You said John Fogerty because I was playing.
Just like you're overselling Russ to the Eagles.
No, there's no such thing. But yeah, I did start a TV channel anyway. I started a TV channel in the Discord because I'm obsessed with Murderville right now.
What streaming service?
It's Netflix. So it's an improv show. Marshawn Lynch is on there. It's hilarious.
I gotta see this. I
it's
haven't
great
seen it. I haven't
because
seen
it's an
anything about
improv show, and I don't think Marshawn fully understood how much of an improv show it is, and he takes it like dead seriously, and it's amazing.
That's awesome. I
It's
gotta
so
see it.
great. It's so funny. Watch it from the beginning though. Don't go straight to Marshawn because they actually have like scripting that goes into the show. So from episode to episode, as much as it's an improv show, there is a continuing storyline, and the guests change each week, and it's amazing. So
I promise. Go ahead. You go ahead, Taylor.
No, go ahead.
I promise after I'm done this amazing Kanye documentary, I will.
And that's
go
next
watch
on my list.
Yeah,
You should watch it. If you're any type of a Kanye fan, like especially early Kanye, man.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, I will be checking that out.
Not to get to, because I'll go crazy and I'll talk about this for like 10 minutes, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Watch it. That's it.
Yeah, so we will do that, but we're talking about it in the Discord again. You can just find that on our website, bellandthebirdmen.com, if you want to join in. So here's the third thing that Howie Roseman got asked. And I think this is really important, by the way, because we had a conversation in the last episode, which Francisco, you weren't here with us. It was me and John got together on a Sunday in the shadows of night, and we snuck in here to record a show. So we were talking about the offensive line, and basically the idea, is it worth it for the Eagles to draft a lineman in the first round when the line's as good as it is and you have Jeff Stoutland? Now, you're shaking your head no.
I mean, it's absolutely not. Why would you? We're sitting here talking about the defense, which needs more work, and I think you need a number 2 receiver to go alongside Devontae. It would be dumb to draft a lineman. I'm not saying to draft a lineman in the draft. I'm just saying early first 2-3 rounds. What?
Yeah, I don't think you need it. I don't think, and that's been a whole debate, and like I've been hearing a lot from people on Twitter and the Discord and all that, so I appreciate it. But here's where it gets interesting, right? Because we talked about this so much, and Howie Roseman got asked about this. So here is from the Combine a question to Howie Roseman. Listen.
Howie, how much do you balance how successful Stout's been in developing talent versus spending maybe a premium pick on an offensive lineman when you know you have the coaching jazz?
Pause it real quick, Taylor. So that's Mike K, by the way, who I will now say is a listener of the show. Mike, I don't know. I just assume now. I'm just going to assume.
I think you just got a new gig, too. Shout out to him.
And thank you, Mike. I am going to buy you a cheeseburger. Come to the studio. Let's hang out for a day. I've never actually met Mike K before. We've gone back and forth before. But Mike, come on down. Let's grab a cheeseburger.
He asked about that with the liquid death in his hand.
Yes.
He absolutely
I
did.
bet he did, which I have in my hand right now. Me
too.
Yeah, so
I was prepared.
come on down, Mike, as a listener of the show and somebody who's now asking thoughts that we had to Howie Roseman. I would love to buy you a burger, again, assuming he listens to the show.
And that he eats burgers.
And that he eats burgers. Well, I guess we could do any kind of sandwich I will limit it to sandwiches for no good reason. But I'm happy to feed Mike K. So Howie Roseman got asked about this whole thing that we talked about the other day when it comes to offensive linemen and what to do about it. So here's Howie's answer to the question.
He would say this, and not taking away, he's the best offensive line coach in the NFL. You know, not trying to insult anyone, but that's how we feel. And we got to give him talented guys. You know, at the end of the day, these coaches could be as great as they possibly can be, but without talent, you know, it doesn't help. So when we talk about players, we still need players with traits. You know, it's hard to be an offensive line. It's not a natural thing to be moving backwards while guys are coming at you forwards, and especially the elite athletes that are on defense. So those guys are hard to find. You know, you don't find them in any round. Obviously, like, there are going to be guys on the third day that we think have some unusual traits that we'd be interested in. But really, when you think about the guys who are really successful, you're talking about guys who have something unusual about them. And so we'll continue to keep looking for those guys because it's important to us.
So I'm going to be John Barchard for just 1 second. See, Vince, don't you see? Did you hear Howie Roseman and what he just said there? Because he told you that offensive linemen in the first round, like fucking Linderbaum, who's just like fucking Kelsey, is exactly what you should do.
What'd you think of that rendition?
It's pretty spot on of what he would say.
That was pretty good.
That's
all I had to say that, like, could you hear the bullshit cover-up answer that he was given there?
It's just like Charlie Brown's parents. It's like,
like, that's what I did when I was giving presentations in like high school and college. I would just be trying to fill up time and just try to come up with smart, illogical bullshit that maybe sounded good. That's what that was. Traits and we want to get talented guys for freaking Stoutland. Like, yeah, you sound smart. Howie, I get it. You're a smart guy. It's all bullshit.
The most interesting things that happen at press conferences are things that we actually remember.
Like,
and
when
that's
people
like throughout
explode.
time. Yes, and that's throughout time. Those are the only interesting things ever said at press
I'm a man, I'm 40.
Exactly.
Yeah. They are who we thought they were.
Yep.
And we let them off.
Yeah. And there's maybe like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, like, the entertainment value is usually not there.
Yeah.
I get the kick out of, like, smug court jester Howie Roseman, so that makes me happy, but it's not, like, iconic.
Yeah, just media-trained jargon answer going on for 2 minutes.
He danced around. He was like, yes, we clearly value great offensive line prospects at the top of the draft, and we've drafted those guys. And also there's guys in the late rounds that we like, too, and we think we can develop. So he's saying, everything. Like, it's, whatever. But it was cool to see him ask the question, because I do think it's a good question, and we've obviously all been going back and forth about it here as a community. So it's awesome that he did that, and shout out to Mike K. So,
shout out to Mike.
So there you go. And let's get to, in just a minute, I want to get to something that's going on with the Giants. But first, I'm going to take another sip of the delicious.
I guess I should too.
Bubbly, wonderful Liquid Death. Actually, can you give me a second one? I just finished mine. I literally just...
Are we dead serious right now? I will get it for you. Absolutely. I will walk out right now.
Yes, it's not. It's right there. I gotta let the people know. So I have been drinking. I think today I've had legitimately 4 Liquid Deaths. I've just been sitting here pounding them. I also just realized as I'm saying all this that I'm hot. I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I probably shouldn't be wearing a hoodie.
Nice day out.
Yeah, it's a really nice day, but it's weird because it'll be 40 degrees, and then you're like, oh, it's 40 degrees, and then you go outside and you're like, it's hot for 40 degrees. It's just very strange. So let me just kind of get this out of the way. Oh, the nipples are out, so that's good. That's good for you.
Ew.
That's
disgusting. That's
great YouTube content. So, all right, well, this video is going to get censored. And now I'm wearing my fan-controlled football shirt because they're a mess. And I wanted to remember the good old days before the league went to garbage.
I liked it with the shirt off, actually.
Yeah, maybe I should
No
just
Glacier Boys.
do that. I'm sitting here promoting the fan-controlled football league, but whatever. They're dead to me now. So, anyway, yeah, this is all my long-winded way of saying that Liquid Death, which I just cracked another one, has kept me from not completely melting and sweating and being disgusting in that hoodie. And I've just been downing them like crazy, and I love it. I mean, it's delicious. It's crisp to have the bubbles versus the regular. Now you got flavors, which we were going to try today, but John being out and about, it's just all the baby stuff. It just didn't quite work out, so we'll try those next week.
I was going to say, I need more mango, man. Like, these are incredible, but, man, those mango. I'm a big mango guy.
See, I like
regular mangoes.
I'm excited to try them all. So we will.
I know you've tried the mango one, haven't you?
We will.
Okay.
We will. And it's going to be coming in time. So it's going to be next week, and that'll be when me and John get in the studio, and we'll let you know how we like all the flavors. So that's coming. But somebody's potentially going, and I think this is really interesting. All right? So Saquon Barkley, who the Giants never should have drafted at number 2 overall. It was a dumb pick the second they made it. I don't care how good he is, because running backs aren't worth the second pick in the draft. They're just not.
But not how good he was his rookie year.
Yeah, not worth it.
Wait,
well, he got hurt.
No.
Not his rookie year.
But hold on, am I bugging? I'm about to go to.
I'm pretty sure. I was looking through this the other day because I was yelling at somebody else about Saquon, because what happened is, and why we're going to be yelling about all of this, he's on the trade block. They're listening to offers.
That's right, because
for Saquon Barkley.
He's been dealing with injury problems, and it just hasn't worked out really the last 3 years. I get that.
And they're turning the page.
It made sense to draft him at
No,
number
it didn't.
2. Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
What are you talking about? He was an elite talent. What are you talking about?
Running back.
At a disposable.
Doesn't matter, but
We've had this talk.
Disposable. Absolutely
We've had this talk
disposable.
before. Yes, running backs aren't as important as they used to be unless you're elite. He was on an elite trajectory.
And
11 touchdowns, 1,300 yards his first year.
Okay.
He looked.
How many wins did they have?
Huh?
How many wins?
Doesn't matter. They had a bad team around them. They had a bad team. Oh, shut up, Taylor. They had a bad team around them.
All right, they still do. And now he's done.
I know that's not his fault.
But
it just hasn't
it's
worked
not his
out.
fault.
It hasn't worked out.
It's the Giants' fault.
For drafting him.
You don't draft a running back at 2.
Right. That's an organizational problem. He's a top 5 type of pick, though.
No.
When he's healthy, he's a top 5 running back, maybe. But for everything I hear from Giants people, But everything I hear from Giants people, even is that he's gotten worse. All they tell me now is, he doesn't hit the hole. He's not the same guy.
They've had a bad offensive line. They have a terrible offensive line.
Well, they do, which is why you don't draft that spot that high. Yes.
Right, he made sense.
He didn't make sense.
He made sense at the time. Vince, I'm sure at the time you were like, oh, yeah, the Giants made the right selection. I'm sure you did.
I guarantee you I didn't.
I'm going to go back to listen to the WIP tape.
I guarantee you I was trashing that pick. I've been out on running backs as a top pick since like 2016.
Not in the first round.
Yeah, it very rarely. Unless you're in the back end of the first, and that's like the missing piece. And even then, it's like, I think it's a stretch. Round. Like certain guys at like 30, if you take Alvin Kamara, you know what I mean? Like I would have done that when he was coming out.
Alvin
I liked
Kamara
him
is more
a lot.
of a product of a great offense in New Orleans.
Well, he's a great player too.
You know what I'm saying? Like Saquon's just a really good. I think he's that type of talent.
But you don't know, because here's the problem: is even the window for an elite running back, the shelf life is not that long. Like if you're getting a guy that's similar quality, wide receiver, offensive line, corner, defensive lineman, any of those things, they're going to play longer, most likely. They're going to play more games for you, most likely, and they have a higher impact.
I get what you're saying, but like Saquon was going to play at least he'll play at least 5 to 8 years, and in that time they're going to build up to be a contender.
But you don't spend a number 2 pick on that.
I think it made sense.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible. And now at this point, because think about this, right? They drafted the guy. He has a great rookie year. They don't win anything. It's the next 3 years, he's missing some games. He misses a lot of the previous season, 2020. Now he's on the last year of his rookie deal, and they're looking to move him. The window is closed. You know what I mean? They're not going to pay Saquon Barkley. They're not going to invest in Saquon Barkley. The window when he was a valuable piece to them is over. They're starting over without him.
I don't disagree with that. I think they should trade him now. It makes sense because he's had injuries and just hasn't worked out, and the Giants need to really rebuild. It makes sense now. All I was arguing, and I know we weren't going for that. I know you.
Well, no, it's fine because it's. I'm surprised. I didn't expect that.
I'm surprised that you don't feel that the same way.
I didn't know there were people on the other side of the stake.
Yeah, I argued with somebody yesterday about this on Twitter, and their argument was Derrick Henry, and it's like, all right, well, no one knew
Henry's had incredible. 3-4.
No one thought
years.
Derrick Henry was Derrick Henry before he got drafted anyway. But if they did know and he did get drafted like that, he's been amazing. And for the Titans, he's sold tickets, so he's probably worth it. But
and was he a first-round draft pick?
Yeah, no.
I don't think
exactly.
No, he wasn't.
But that was Taylor, that's different.
But even if you knew what he was, it's like
he's a running back.
As far as the Titans have gotten, they didn't make a Super Bowl. They need a better quarterback, and Tannehill's not good enough. So it's like, if the rest of the team isn't good enough, at what point? Like, what you need to build as a full organization, have a running back be your star franchise player and win the Super Bowl. I mean, holy crap! Like, the closest thing we saw was Todd Gurley a couple of years ago, and he got ran down.
He really. 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And I agree.
That was it. And like the Rams kicked out Todd Gurley when he was the heart of their team and arguable MVP in 2018. He was
the face of the LA move.
And he's gone. And now what is he, like 28? Is he even in the league?
He hasn't played since 2020. Yeah.
He's not that old.
He had 3 good years. He had his rookie year. He had 2017, 13, and 17 touchdowns a year after that. And then after that, he got hurt. No, maybe he didn't get hurt. He just wasn't good.
So, yeah, because his knees were shot.
Right.
So, like, that's the kind of problem that you run into with a running back like that. So the Giants do it. They draft Saquon. They go through these years. The GM gets fired, which was inevitable when you make picks like this, in my estimation. And when you get to where the Giants are now, okay, new management, new coaching staff. They're turning the page. They're moving on from Saquon. Right now, the estimate is about a 4th-round pick to get him, which is, I think, what he's worth if you're going to make the trade. Now, one, we can talk about whether or not the Eagles should get him. I wouldn't pay a 4th-rounder right now for Saquon Barkley. I wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't either.
Oh, now you don't like him.
Oh my gosh! I'm talking. No, we're not going back there. We're not going back there. No, we're not going back. I don't feel like going through this whole thing again.
I like this. I like Taylor dragging you through this whole thing.
I don't like
this
Taylor dragging me.
This is good.
I don't deserve this.
Oh no,
you bad music.
All of a sudden you don't like him.
Oh. No, we're not doing this. No. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to say it again.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Because it's like, all right, what am I going to do? If he became a free agent, I would consider it, right? Free agent, you sign him for $4 or $5 million a year.
Somebody's going to sucker into more than that.
Somebody's definitely going to pay him like
Absolutely.
7 or 8. And it's like, all right, good luck to you, you know? But outside of that, I'm not paying a 4th-round pick. And plus, if you're going to do that from the Eagles standpoint, if I'm the Giants, I'm not taking him for a 4th and sending him to you. Like, you know what I mean? The Eagles you're paying at least a 3 if you're the Eagles. If you're going to give up a 3rd-round pick for Saquon Barkley at this point, I think you're out of your mind. Like, we had discussions. I threw this out. I threw this out earlier in the season as a poll, and like this was one of my most responded to polls because everybody hated me for even asking the question just to see how people felt. But I was like, would you spend a 1st-round pick on a running back? And everybody, it was like 98% no. And the whole idea was the line is so good, it doesn't matter who the running back is. Put anybody back there. And if you feel that way, there's no point in getting a guy like Saquon Barkley and trading for him right now.
I agree with that.
Just doesn't make sense. So
no, I 100% agree.
And I get it. I totally understand that, and I'm okay with it. It was just like, and with that whole question, it was like, all right, well, what if they got a guy that like was Nick Chubb at the end of the 1st, and like, that'd be fun, you know? So it was like, are people open to that? No, nobody's open to that. Okay, that's good to know. So thinking about where it is now, you see them moving on from Saquon Barkley last year of his deal, incredible talent, and a guy that, you know, injury history, all that kind of stuff. Why are we doing the same thing with Miles Sanders?
I think people still... What'd you tell her?
I said thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think the thing with Miles is people are still attached to that, oh, look what he was his rookie season. Look at the type of talent he was. And they're just waiting for that to come back around. And it never really has. We've seen like stints of it. We've seen flashes, but it's never really come back around. And like you said, man, like put any running back there. It probably does make sense to trade him now.
It does.
Not probably. It does.
This is the time because he started to hit the hole in the back half of the season. You can sell that. Because now it's like, oh, he was a lot more efficient once Jordan Howard almost took his job and then he changed his running style. Yeah, now he's a guy that you can sell because he was getting more dynamic plays. He was a more system-friendly running back rather than a guy that's just an athlete that can make things happen. So, okay, trade him. And I guess the other question is then, like, what do you trade him for? Like, if I'm another team, anybody that's like, all right, I want Miles Sanders, what is that worth to you?
I mean, I think you're either getting a future draft pick or you're getting a hole that you need right now. Like a
linebacker, like we trade him for rotational, which you could do.
I mean, if you're going to get something back better than what you have right now, which I don't know if there's, I don't know if a team would be willing to give that up right now for anything better than we have right now. But it would have to be an edge rusher or a linebacker or a safety. And I think Howie's probably looking at more in the draft anyway. You got Nakobe Dean, you've got and I didn't even mention wide receiver. The receivers we'll try. I don't know if we're going to get to or not. But there's a bunch of receivers in this draft class that I think are being overlooked, as well as there's some defensive ends in this draft class. So he might. I don't know what they would trade Miles Sanders for, to be completely honest with you. But what would you think they would give up for him?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he'd be an interesting guy in the middle rounds, like second, third, somewhere in that area. If you're going to move up to get a guy, and you package Sanders as a way to move up.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that. Yeah,
right. Like that's one of the things that I would like to do. Otherwise, if you just have to offload him for a pick at this point, I mean, if you're getting a 4 for him, he's not. It's 1 year that's left on his deal. He doesn't cost all that much right now. And if teams like him, they can re-sign him. And it's not like they have to re-sign him for a lot. He's not making much anyway. So
he was defending Nelson Aguilar on Twitter last year, all throughout the season. I don't want to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, don't do
Sorry,
that.
man. Is Miles technically? He's not a hometown guy, right?
He went to Penn State.
He's a PA guy.
I forget. I don't know what his hometown is, but I know he went to Penn State.
I think he's a Pittsburgh guy. Okay, but never mind. But I don't. I mean, I think we definitely got to move on from him. You got to kind of get whatever you think you can get for him.
Right?
Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think you got to think.
Even Pittsburgh. Okay.
Even if it's not like something that maybe it's not like a perfect deal. Obviously, you want to try to get the deal that makes sense for you as much as possible. But, man, it just wouldn't make sense to have Miles Sanders on the roster.
Hear me out.
Go ahead.
A running back that can get into the end zone.
That is wild, that stat last year, man.
It is. I mean, for his career, I don't know how many touchdowns he has. It's a low number for a guy with the number of carries that he has. But when you think about it, it's like, okay, he had none last year, and it's been well over a calendar year at
9
this
career
point.
touchdowns.
Oh, my God.
So bad.
Isn't that wild?
Wow.
So bad.
Wild.
Okay, so he's got... Think about this, all right?
Wait. Hear me out again.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley.
No! No!
Yo, listen, hold on. I was just thinking about this. If you could promise me Saquon Barkley will come back and be his old self and stay healthy,
no.
Why not?
Because that's not going to
happen. I'm not saying
I
would do it. I'm just saying if you could promise me that.
But
absolutely.
If you could promise me $1 million tomorrow.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, oh, man.
Vince, if I told you, hold on, Vince. If I told you I'm the New York Giants and who's their GM?
Yes.
Who is
Brandon Beane now?
Billy Beane.
Or is that the Bills GM? I forget. It's somebody from the Bills that's there. Anyway.
We'll say Billy Beane.
Sure.
Because baseball.
You're Billy Beane now.
And you're Brad Pitt, and you're saying, hey, Vince. You're Howie Rose. Hey, Vince. Saquon's going to come back from the dead. He's going to be his old self coming out of Penn State. 1,300 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns his rookie year. He's going to be that same guy. I'll give him to you for a second-round pick. You wouldn't do it? Huh?
No, a second-round pick? No.
Billy Beane gets angry. What?
Yeah.
You're wild. No, but you're wild for not taking that. I
wouldn't do it.
You're wild.
No, because I could draft somebody. There's a guy in the draft that's coming up literally this year. Kenneth Walker, the second or the third?
No, but you know that you'd be getting that good Saquon Barkley. Go ahead, Taylor. You're going to say something.
Kenneth Walker is a football running back that you want on your team.
Kenneth Walker is legit.
Yeah, that's a football name.
It is a football name, and
who's Kenneth Walker?
He's in the draft this year. He's a Michigan State running back.
I don't know how good he's going to be in the NFL. I know Saquon in his rookie year was a great running back.
Yeah, that was
how many years ago? Yeah.
I'm saying, though, if he... You got to listen to what I just told him? If I promised you he'd be that guy.
You didn't promise me anything.
Yeah, but
God.
It's who is he?
Vince, I'm speaking hypothetical.
Yes, but the hypothetical doesn't work. He's broken. He's a broken
saying it works
man.
In the situation.
I don't want... If in the hypothetical, I wouldn't trade a second for him. And now it's like...
And I'm saying you said a broken man. I'm saying if he comes back and he's not a broken man. If he's an injury-free guy.
Well, if he comes back and he's not a broken man, then I go, all right, I mean, whatever. Maybe they could have traded for him, but I'd rather take the bet. It's a smarter bet to not believe that a running back is going to rehab their injuries and be a new man.
Even if he was somewhat peak, I think that's a marginal improvement for the team.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter.
You get somebody, you draft somebody, you sign a free agent from the Colts, name Marlon Mack. And you do it for half the money that Saquon's going to cost you. You run him, you run Kenny Gainwell, you trade Sanders and some other guy. Like, That's it. It's easy. I mean, think about this. Like Miles Sanders, going back to the touchdown thing, 9 touchdowns in his career. Gainwell, last year, 7.
Ugh.
7. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
So stick with that. And they didn't use him all that much throughout the whole year.
No.
They used him early.
They didn't. I like
and they used him late.
I do. I just don't like him as the number 1 yet.
No, he's not. And there isn't a number 1. You know what I mean?
Bro, I know what you're saying, but there's a guy that's going to get the bulk of the carries, correct?
Well, it's
I don't think
roles.
Gainwell is that guy.
You want a guy that can consistently get handoffs, go inside and off tackle with enough speed. That's Mac to me. It could be Kenneth Walker in the draft. Kenneth Walker is a stud. Like, he's a second rounder because he's a running back, but he's a stud. That guy can play.
Build Vince's dream team. It'd be Russell Wilson, the quarterback, Marlon Mack, Kenneth Gainwell. Who else did you mention? Kenneth Walker. Who else am I missing here?
Traylon Burks is now on that team.
Traylon Burks, he's on the dream team.
Yep.
Hassan Reddick. Right? Nah?
Reddick's, he's not dream team, but he's good.
He's really
good.
Going off of your past.
Yeah, no, right now Reddick's available. Like I would honestly, and I would bet the Eagles are definitely interested in Hassan Reddick. They should be.
No, absolutely. Howie will do his thing, and we got to do as a GM.
No Calvin Ridley.
No, I don't love it. I mean, here's my problem with Calvin Ridley is everybody's like, oh, he's so great in the Alabama connections and all that stuff. I don't really know why he's not playing for Atlanta. I have no idea. I don't know what his actual problem is.
Was it an anxiety thing?
Well, was it? Like I'm not trying to discount it if it's actual mental health stuff, but it seemed like people have kind of floated that it might be, and I never heard anything concrete that it was.
Yeah, I'm just going off what I saw on social. Is that like I thought he had a post and he said like I'm going through something right now, like mentally. I thought he said that.
Okay, and then
I'm just telling you what I saw.
Yeah, I mean it's bizarre to me for the guy to take the whole season off and not hear all that much about it. If it is that it's a mental thing and he's worked out and everything's fine. Like that's fine. The Eagles are a great place for a player that's got mental health issues. But if he had some problems with the organization and whatever, there was other stuff to it and he's couching it as mental, then like I don't know. I just don't like until I know, and I'm saying this as legitimately, I don't know what his full problem was.
That's fair, 100%.
Then I'm willing to talk about it. But also trading for a guy that's a couple years in on his contract and giving up, say, a first-round pick, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just draft a guy with the 1. I'd rather just draft a guy or sign a free agent. Like the guys that are available that are free agents are not that old. I mean, Allen Robinson, Mike Williams, DJ Chark, they're not old. So
I agree.
If I'm talking about price and production and knowledge, I don't know.
He put out a statement on Halloween.
Okay,
right, I remember this. I remember seeing this.
Step away, focus on his mental well-being, and he wants this will help him be the best version of himself now and in the future. So I just don't know what it is. Like, and I'm not trying to discount it.
No,
I'm just saying I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you don't have to.
So it's just hard for me to go like, yes, this is the guy. He's a good player. But is he like the piece? Do I need to give up a first rounder? Not right now, and like not until questions are answered.
I agree with that.
Can't do it. So
I would go for Calvin.
I don't know. Would love your thoughts on this, by the way. So if you want to join, we're all in the Discord. We're always talking in the Discord. It's been a lot of fun in there. A lot of back and forth. It gets goofy. It gets theoretical with all these trades and stuff. So it's been awesome in there. If you want to join the Discord, bellandthebirdmen.com. You can find the link right there. That'll get you in the Discord. You can also hit us on the text line 215-509-5833. I am Vince Quinn. That is Francisco Rojas alongside Taylor Cradatis. And my friends, we are out of here.